I know I tend to be a pretty optimistic person. One of the things that I think is really interesting is I feel like right now, the bar for entry and producing content and sharing your story is lower than ever. And there's a really great opportunity that people aren't necessarily paying attention to. We're seeing this huge uptick in content. I know platforms like Instagram, even LinkedIn, are playing a big role in trying to feed the machine. People want original content. Additionally, you're seeing this big rise in AI technology. And I'm not anti AI, but at the same time, I think people are using AI the wrong way. I like to really use AI as a tool to really look at my consistency. I have tried to outsource writing. I've tried to outsource content creation. And there are things that it is good at, and there are things that it is just absolutely awful at. I think the key piece that really brings content to the next level is originality, is storytelling, is us. The human element of content creation is the key piece. So when I say the bar is lower than ever, we are seeing people that are focusing on the trends. They're focusing on the technology. They're focusing on the platforms, on the algorithms to really support content creation, and they're focusing on vanity metrics. Now, I'll preach this till I'm blue in the face, but the people who are interacting with your content, that are liking, sharing, commenting, typically aren't the people who are buying from you. People are looking to trust someone. They're looking to see if they can relate with that person. And the biggest and best way that we can do that is by bringing ourselves to the table. And this is what I mean by the bar is lower than ever. While everyone else is focused on AI technology, they're focused on how do I make this content? How do I use ChatGPT to write everything for me and to do all the work for me? They're missing the point. You should be showing up as yourself and really focusing on the things that have built your business better. And this is relationship. This is humanness. These are these soft skills, these things that AI just can't do yet. Now, not to go on the soapbox of AI for this whole entire thing, but I think the key thing, the thing that I really want people to focus on is the fact that we need to bring ourselves to the equation. When we're making content, yes, it's great to puke out a lot of ideas. I love using Grammarly to write copy and to make it sound better because I'm not great at English and I can admit that, and that's a tool. And yes, there's AI elements to it, but I'm still doing the heavy lifting. I'm still puking out my ideas and then I'm strengthening those through those systems. The same way when we're producing video content is, hey, what's going to help us get some of our ideas out of our head? You know, being able to scan through a website and put a bunch of content ideas down, and then to look at the ones that we really like, that we feel lit up by, the things that we're really good at talking about, and then bringing our own unique flavor to it. Early on in my career, one of the things that I was really frustrated with was gatekeeping. And I really wished a lot of video creators would share more information. I really didn't want to hold on to information, and I wasn't scared to share that information because I knew even if I shared everything that I knew, not everyone can execute the same way, and especially no one would add that same flavor that I bring to creativity or to the way I think about problems. This is that special sauce. When I think about the things that have been successful in marketing my business, it's not regurgitating what 10 other creatives have done. It's been using what I know from my unique experience that I have that really create connection. So when we think about creating video content, we should be less focused on, hey, this algorithm is working really well. Okay, TikTok's blowing up. Great, that's the bare minimum. There's something that works for now, but what if down the line that changes? What if that goes away? Are you prepared and are you confident in your own story to show up time and time again and to still put that thing out there? This is kind of the root foundation. Are we really focused on just, hey, this works, this trend, let's try all these different things out? Or have we spent the time looking inward and saying, what do I have to give? What do I know? What am I so confident in sharing? This is your human story. This is what has worked, and putting these things out is going to be something that you can persist with. It's something that you're going to be able to build momentum with. It's also something that isn't going to hurt you when a piece of content doesn't perform, because guess what? Some pieces of content are going to perform, other ones are going to fail, and we need to be willing to move on past that, learn a lesson, and stay consistent in this rather than backing off. Oh my goodness, this isn't working. What am I going to do? No, it's your story. Confidence in marketing comes from leaning into what you know best, speaking what you know best, and staying persistent when things are good, when things are bad, when things are somewhere in between. Coming back to this whole idea of what is everyone doing right now? Everyone is cutting back on content creation. Everyone is trying to outsource, seeing where they can save money. They're testing out copywriting, they're testing out email marketing strategies, they're testing out all these things. And what's happening is everyone is doing the exact same thing. It's a very slight variation of what's working. Even when we look at the video side of things, you're seeing so many content creators that are using trendy pieces, stylized pieces of content that other creators are using, or using the same points and just regurgitating them. For me, I get it. You want to do what's successful, you want to be successful, you want to have all these things. But at the end of the day, is it you? Are you going to be able to sustain that? The more we can make it us, and then we can kind of build upon what is working. There's nothing wrong with jumping on this trend. This is working. I really like the way this works. I really like the way this looks. This feels like something we can do. But then adapting it and making it original and something that feels like it's a part of us rather than just a copy and paste. This is where you're going to get the most success because you're going to feel unique. Yes, you might not blow up and have the biggest views and all these sort of things, but I would beg to guess that you're going to create real connection and you're going to feel more authentic in that story. So it makes it easier to stay persistent. Persistence goes a long way. So the sooner we find that voice, the sooner we create connection, the easier it's going to be to stay persistent in creating our content, making that pipeline, and also being unique in the process and not just jumping on the bandwagon, because what fun is that? When we look at this content creation from this viewpoint, from this lens, we have to ask ourselves, what unfair advantages are we creating for ourselves? What opportunities might we be creating long term? And how is that going to give us leverage with the relationships that we're trying to create online? Because we're not trying to be someone else. We're just trying to be the best version of ourselves online.